Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a topic that for a lot of people seems pretty confusing, maybe even a little intimidating, the stock market. But with this explainer, we're going to give you the simple, clear foundation you need to really understand it.
Let's just start with a number. Take a look at that. 700 crores. I mean, that's an almost unimaginable amount of money, right? But what if I told you that number is the result of a single, pretty small decision that someone made decades ago?
That's right. This is the incredible power of long-term investing. It shows how a 10,000 rupee bet on a good company can over time turn into an absolute fortune. Now that's the potential of the stock market, but for so many of us, that potential is completely overshadowed by a lot of fear and confusion. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down step by step. We'll start with that battle between potential and fear. Then we'll get into risk versus reward. We'll cover how much money you actually need to get started, the kind of mindset you need to bring, the practical steps to get going, and finally, who is really cut out to be an investor.
All right, first things first. Let's address the two biggest emotions that surround the market. That dream of incredible gains, and of course, the very real fear of losing everything.
At its very heart, the idea is incredibly simple. When you buy a stock or a share, you're not just buying some digital blip on a screen. You are literally buying a tiny piece of an actual business. You become a part owner in that company's future.
You know, a good way to think about it is like this. If your friend starts a business and asks for some money to help get it off the ground, you get the deal, right? If the business does really well, you get to share the profits. But if it fails, well, that money is probably gone. The stock market is exactly the same idea, just on a much bigger scale. The risk is absolutely real, but so is the reward.
So that brings us to the most important question of all. How do we balance that risk and that reward? How do you tap into all that potential for growth without getting wiped out?
Well, historically, the rewards have been pretty significant. In a high-growth economy like India's, a solid stock portfolio has averaged somewhere around 18 to 20% every year over the long run. Now compare that. It's nearly double what you might see from real estate or gold, and way more than a bank deposit offers. So the key to managing risk isn't trying to avoid it. It's about managing it intelligently. And the single best way to do that is through something called diversification. You've heard the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. By investing in at least 8 to 10 different companies, you're making sure that if one or two of them perform poorly, the others can help balance things out.
Okay, now let's bust one of the biggest myths in investing. This idea that you need to be wealthy just to get started.
So many people just sit on the sidelines because they believe the stock market is some exclusive club for people who have tons of spare cash. But is that actually the case?
The truth is, you can start with an amount that's probably less than what you spend on coffees or going out each month. 1,000 rupees a month, that is more than enough to begin your journey. You see, it's not about the size of the money you start with. It's about being consistent.
And this is where the magic of compounding comes in. Check this out. If you start with just 1,000 rupees a month, and you increase that amount by 15% each year as your income grows, and you earn a pretty reasonable 15% return, in 25 years, you could have 1 crore. The key is time and consistency, just letting your money work for you.
But you know what? None of this works without the most important piece of the puzzle. Your success or your failure in the market, it often comes down to just one thing, your mindset.
This right here is the fundamental difference. A gambler is looking for a lottery ticket, right? A hot tip to get rich quick. But an investor is looking to become a part owner in a great business for the long haul. A gambler trades frantically. An investor holds patiently. Approaching the market like it's a casino is the surest way to lose your money. This quote just says it all. Nobody buys a piece of land and expects to flip it for double the price in a week. We all understand that real assets need time to appreciate, and stocks are no different. They represent real businesses, and real businesses need time to grow. Giving them that time, that's the whole essence of investing.
Okay, so we've covered the theory, we understand the concepts of risk, reward, and mindset. But what are the actual, practical steps to make your very first investment?
Well, getting started is simpler than it has ever been. First, you just need 3 basic documents. Next, you open something called a demat account online with a broker. Just think of it as a bank account, but for your shares. The entire process is digital, and your account can be active and ready for you to invest in just a few days. Finally, let's tackle the last big myth, the idea that you need a finance degree or some special background to be a successful investor.
Now this might sound a little wild, but it's a true story. A group of fifth graders were asked to pick some stocks, and their choices were tracked against a portfolio that was built by professional financial experts. And get this, after 5 years, the kids' portfolio had actually performed better. How is that even possible?
Their secret weapon was just common sense. They didn't read complex balance sheets. They just picked the companies whose products they loved and used every single day. They understood what made a good business from a customer's point of view, and their real-world knowledge turned out to be more valuable than some complicated financial model.
And this is maybe the most empowering lesson of all. Your unique background is your edge. If you're an engineer, you understand industrial companies. If you're a doctor, you understand the healthcare sector. Use what you know. Invest in the businesses you fundamentally understand. Your expertise is your advantage.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. The journey begins with this one simple question. Just look around you at the products you use, the services you love, the companies you admire. Thinking like an owner and not just a customer is the first and most important step you can take.